Hello, this is the Doctor, also known as Theta Male Secrets, and in this video, we'll be reacting to Keira Lhotan men who don't have this one habit will always struggle with women. So let's hear what she has to say.
And my emails is men trying to overly control a situation. They're overcomplicating it. They're thinking ahead. They're thinking what if. They're overgeneralizing. They're assuming things. Let me take a step back really quick, okay? This goes for any person. You can't control anything, okay? So whether you're in a relationship or you want to be in a relationship, you have to go into it accepting whatever happens. And I know that's really
And that's where she's wrong. When she says don't overcomplicate it, it's not true. You can complicate it as much as you want because everything literally is complicated. Complex. When you think too simple and just have a base of simplicity, it makes everything bland and boring. Not just boring, it feels like not worth it. When something's worth it, it is complex. But maybe she's talking about the right type of simplicity. Kind of girl coddling, I guess.
hard to do, but that's kind of part of life. It really is part of life. To be in a relationship is to not only be confident in that person, but to be confident in yourself. Most of all, okay. You can't control if a woman thinks a certain way, feels a certain way, does things behind your back. You can't control it. This is the cold hard truth here. If you have any specific situation or you just want my perspective.
We cannot control things as well as women cannot control situations, but we do have handling. We do have the ability to shift, permute, rotate, change all the time. It's standard. Asking simple questions, clarifications, validations that validate itself, all that other stuff might seem like the answer, but there's more to it than meets the eye. What women really say might be that at face value, but maybe it's just conley.
On the female psychology, I do one-on-one consultations and I'll go fully in depth. But for this video, I'm specifically talking about overcomplicating, overly controlling, overanalyzing. And men love to analyze things. They're so logical. They need things to make sense. I get it. But it can come off very controlling. The amount of times that I'll get questions or even very strong opinions on their beliefs. From a female perspective, right now, a confident man is not going to overly explain himself. He's not going to try to be right in the situation. That's just the cold hard facts. There's so many men that think that they're right and they have to prove that they're right. They know they're right.
And another thing, that social validation or that feeling like you want to be right all the time, everyone kind of has that, but just in little different variations. She's gonna say this, but she's basically thinking that she's right all the time by introducing what she's talking about. She literally is saying, like, men think they're right all the time, where she's actually saying all these things. Does she think she's right about the things she's saying, or does she just say these things baseless, just emotional aggregation? What is it?
Right? They're assuming they're right. What does it matter? What does it matter? If it has nothing to do with you as a personal being, as your own self, you can't assume anything with anyone else. You can't sit here and think you're right about your own perspective on someone else's life. That's an opinion. And you know what the beautiful thing about opinions is? not everybody has to agree with you. That is the beautiful part of an opinion because everyone can have one. You can have the most unique, most creative opinion, and not everyone is going to believe you. Not everyone is going to agree with you, and that is okay. That is part of having an opinion. But when it comes down to having to be right about an opinion, oh no, she definitely likes me. I know she likes me. I know she does.
And that is an issue for men. Some men believe that like this girl has to like this person. I've had that problem in the past, but it's not about even getting over it. Like if you're heartbroken, all you have to do is mentally handle it, not by saying you gotta get rid of it or you have to put ambition or victory to your strength, but it's about just going into yourself, concentrating, mediating, doing all that stuff to search for adaptation to what's occurring, which is what females do a lot, adaptation through emotional lensing. They use their emotions and thoughts to create places for them to venture out to, and it makes it very easy for them to live. For us men, it's a little bit harder, but maybe that's just a conjecture. I'm not sure.
If you don't know for a fact, or if you already do know for a fact, why does it have to be so said and done, right? Confident people, not just men, but women as well, confident people can live and let live. They can have their assumptions, they can have their opinions. Do they always need to be shared? Do they always need to be agreed with? There's a difference between having an opinion and having a debatable argument. Because most of the times they're not, that's what it becomes. It becomes a debatable argument, and someone is going to be like, okay, all right, you're right. Show's over, right?
But that's where you get into the complexity. It's not just about asking, oh, or saying, oh, you're right. It's about like, why did she say that? What is the purpose behind it? And what does it actually mean? Like, what do you actually mean by what is being said? And you're right to a certain degree, but you're also wrong to a certain degree. And getting those five W's, who, what, when, where, why, and figuring out the dynamic hierarchy of whatever is being said, right?
But what I'm seeing in today's society, especially with modern dating, right? We love to call it modern dating, blah, blah, blah. Why do women have more confidence than you? That's it's the cold hard truth. Whether you want to agree with it or not, that's my opinion. You know what I mean? So if you disagree, you can disagree in silence. Who are you proving to? Are you proving to yourself? The only way you prove to yourself is through action. If you have confidence every day, you feel that confidence. You're not telling yourself you have confidence.
And again, with the linearized decision making tree, if you want to do something, make action, right? Well, that might be true to a certain degree, but when you take it as for granted, you're literally ostracizing your whole perception, linearizing and making yourself way too rigid, and sometimes too rigid to the point where it's not even ordered. It's more disorganized than you could ever think. A lot of people that are organized are actually mentally probably disorganized, or maybe they are organized for a certain stance, but well, whatever.
You feel the confidence. You see yourself waking up. You see yourself doing what you got to do in the morning. You see yourself going to the gym. You see yourself putting yourself together in a great way, right? You're getting yourself together. You feel confident. You look in the mirror. You're not questioning anything. You're not trying to prove anything. It's a feeling.
That's the end of for that video today. This was just a short reaction to her channel in her video. Search up Keira Lhotan, and yeah,